ज़रूरत नहीं है. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Shuru kar? Okay, so today we will talk about, inshallah, the ahkam of Ihtidhar, and maut means death. Ihtidhar is the person who is this state of Ihtidhar. Ihtidhar means Ihtidhar al-Maut. That means arrival of death. In the state of the arrival of death, when the death is arriving in the final moments. Now this person who is in the state where the death is arriving is called Ihtidhar. Ihtidhar. Ihtidhar, and the state is called Ihtidhar. Now, obviously, when a person is in that state and lying on the bed, it is wajib on others around him to make him lie on his back. It's wajib on others to turn his feet towards Qibla. These are two things which are wajib on those people who are around, surrounding that person. The women who are in najasat, must stay away. So this is the time where the angels are arriving, some of the angels, and this is the time where for the mu'mineen, the Holy Prophet and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam are also arriving. For some of the mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam is there for sure, for everyone, mu'min. So we are supposed to stay. The women are supposed to stay away in the time of in their periods in the najasat time. Also, it is mustahab, recommended, to read as-Saffat, and likewise Ayatul Kursi, Ayatul Kursi, I don't remember. No, I don't remember Ayatul Kursi. But we recite Surah Al-Saffat and also the kalima, the basic fitness of about three misaq, means tawheed, and nubuwwat, and imamat, and also we read the names of the imams, names of 12 imams, one after the other, and we read the talqeen. We read the talqeen, which we read at the time of his death in the grave, while burying him in the grave, once after burying him, when he is laid into the grave, one after the grave is shut. So the same talqeen we read, names of the imam, kalima, surah Safat, and also there is a dua which is mustahab to be recited, which is found in every Tawdif al-Masail, Ya man yaqbalul yasir wa ya'fu anil kathir. That dua is mustahab to be recited. So yeah, that's the name of Sakarat. Ya man yaqbalul yasir wa ya'fu anil kathir. Iqbal minnil yasir wa'fu anil kathir innaka antal afuwul ghafoor. Allahumma arhamni fa innaka rahim. This is the short dua which is mustahab to be recited at the time of Ihtidhar. And obviously wasiyat needs to be done before that. Person should always have wasiyat ready. A mu'min should have wasiyat under his pillow. So we need to have wasiyat. We have to have our wasi. Wasi means the person to whom we do the wasiyat. So he is the executor of your will. Wasi. Every mu'min should have a wasi, someone who is assigned already, who will execute his wasiyat. And then you have ishhad over the wasiyat. That means make two adil people, two adil men, shahid and witness over your wasiyat. So this needs to be done. It's mustahab. So this will take care of your huququllah and huququn nas. When you write down your wasiyat, your loans, anything else, any obligations, liabilities, huquq of Allah and people are already taken care of, written there. So kalima needs to repeat it over and over again. And we have hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he has said, Man kana akhiru kalamihi la ilaha illallah dakhala al-jannah. Whoever has his last statement, La ilaha illallah, enters the paradise. So anyone who says La ilaha illallah is the last statement of his life, he goes to the paradise. This is confirmed with the shara'it. Obviously, La ilaha illallah has its shara'it. So with the iman in the nubuwwat and the iman in the walayat of Ahlul Bayt. So this is what we do towards the muhtadhir person. Now, when if the soul is not departing, the person is in a lot of pain, then what we do is that we ask the parents. If the parents are not pleased, he would be unable to say La ilaha illallah. So we request at that time, we request the parents, father and the mother, to be pleased with him, forgive him. This is very important. If the person is unable to say La ilaha illallah, one of the very fundamental reason of that is the displeasure of the parents. Second of all, what we do is that if the person is in pain, we bring the musalla. Musalla means the prayer mat. The prayer mat of that person, and we spread it under him where he is lying on the bed. You put the musalla and prayer mat under him, and it helps the person's soul to be taken out easily, inshallah. Then that option is not available. Yeah.
And back to this question, how far a woman needs to stay away?
Not in that room. Stay in another room.
But she can be in the same house.
Yeah, in the house is not a problem. She should not be in that room.
So, sorry, if it's a wife or a mother or a daughter, somebody who is really close to that person who died,
Should not come there. No way. The Ahlul Bayt come there. We don't come to Ahlul Bayt in the time of Najasat. We don't get close to them.
So she cannot come all the time?
No. If there's the final moments of the life, no, she should not come.
So when the people are taking the janazah from Jeddah?
Yeah, then it's okay. When the soul has gone, now the Ahlul Bayt are no longer there. Now it's not a problem, yes.
so she can't be visited at the last place.
No. So, is that clear? So, this is Ihtidhar. And obviously,
Most of the people, I think they don't know this.
Mm-hmm.
Your closest, your mother or your daughter.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
or
Walaikum
wife,
salam.
that's huge. It's not, it's like they won't be there. So what I'm saying is, if people who are unknowingly there, or even knowingly there, is there a kafara, or there's a sin, or
No, there's
how is it looked upon?
There is no kafara. The woman should not come close to the muhtazir person who is dying if they are in najasat. If they come close, there is no kafara for that, but this is disrespectful towards Ahlul Bayt, because their souls are there, they are visiting the person if he is a mu'min and muttaqi person, and there is a benefit for that mu'min. Let Ahlul Bayt visit, there is a benefit involved, a huge benefit for that person, and it's disrespectful for Ahlul Bayt, for any person, even a man who is in najasat, in its janabat, or a woman in haiz or janabat should not get, or nifas, should not get closer to the Ahlul Bayt in that time, to that person. We believe if he is a mu'min and muttaqi, Ahlul Bayt come and visit. So she should not get closer to that person in the final moments in najasat. She should stay out of that room.
So he or she both applies.
Or if he has janabat, yes, he should also stay away. So, yeah, so this is
So will you be repeating these kalima or names of the imam? Will you keep repeating it? Or
yes, names of the imam and kalima need to be repeated. Surah Al-Safat you can read once, and also Yasin. which I forgot, I'm sorry. Yasin is also mustahab to be recited at the time of Ihtidhar, Yasin and Safat. But kalima should be repeated over and over again, and names of the Imam should be repeated over and over again to that person. So, this is about Ihtidhar. Now, when we are done, then obviously when the soul is departed, then these rules do not apply. You can move him, his body, his legs, feet no longer need to be towards Qibla any further. So all these rules no longer apply after that.
So immediately after the soul is departed, then the rest of the body is najis.
No, the body is not, zahiran is not najis.
But you have to do ghusl.
Yeah, you have to do the ghusl of musl mayyit. Zahiran is not najis.
It's a muscle movement.
Yeah. You can say it's a kind of hidden jasad, but not the apparent jasad. So now, let me erase this. Okay.
We can have noise when he's dying.
No, what? Noha?
Noise, like
Noise.
doing majlis or reciting noha or something like
Noise.
that. Roze khun.
Zikr of Ahlul Bayt is good. That's not a problem. But yeah, it's better that you recite the names of Ahlul Bayt. What the Sharia is saying, you keep on repeating the names of the 12 Imams. This is very important information because he is going to be asked the same names in a few seconds, after a short while, not seconds, but after a short while.
One more question. You were saying if these names are not penetrated into his heart, he would forget right after.
But still, there is a hope that it will help him. Let's do our best. There is a hope that it will help him.
Once the person is died, do we still need to recite something or we can stop?
When he's dying,
After the departure of the soul.
after the departure of the soul, then first of all, it is important to remember that nothing benefits the person more than his wajibat. And there is no question in the qabr about the mustahab things. Some people are focusing on the mustahab things. Let's read Quran for the. It's very good to read Quran. No problem with that. Because reading Quran is mustahab. First find out whether he has a wajib missing or not. This is more important. If he has a wajib salat or saum or hajj or khums or haqqun nas, loan he borrowed or he hurt somebody's feelings, haqqun nas or haqqullah, the wajibat. Let's focus on the wajibat before we focus on reciting mustahab things and giving sadaqah. Very good to give sadaqah, but it's mustahab. It's not wajib. Nobody is going to ask him in the qabr, did you give the sadaqah? So why are you focusing? Why do we focus on the lesser important thing which are not even asked there? Tilawat of Quran. No angel is going to ask the dead person, did you read Quran? This is not the question in the qabr at all. For whatever long duration he is in barzakh, nobody asks him about tilawat of Quran. Yeah, that's not the question which is asked. That's mustahab. There is no question of mustahabat in the qabr. Aham and muhim are upside down, for generally speaking, for some people. So in our society, so we need to focus on what is aham in the eyes of Allah, more important in the eyes of Ahlul Bayt. The more important thing is the wajibat. Mustahab things are never questioned in the qabr. The questions are only about some of the wajibat, not all the wajibat. The rest of the question are left on the Day of Judgment. Only some of the wajibat are asked in the qabr. And those some we need to focus on. Well, basically, it's about the prayers and the khums, wajib taxes, khums, fitra, and zakat. Zakat, wajib on those who are living in villages or wherever. So, wajib taxes of money, khums, zakat, and fitra, the prayers and fasting, and hajj, and likewise, it is about the huququn nas. Huququn nas. And the most important thing is about the three misaq and covenants of Tawheed and Nubuwwat and Imamat, the walayat of Ahlul Bayt. So that is the most important question. Tawheed and Nubuwwat and Imamat of 12 Imams. So this is related to the walayat of Allah, supremacy of God. So apart from that, huququn nas. The rest of the things are done, asked on the Day of Judgment.
Basically, the best thing then would be to find out if they have any of these things due and get
Ahsan. That's the right approach. When a person who is near and dear to us, he dies, we are now supposed to focus on what is going to help him in the grave, not what we like. What is helping him is this thing, you cannot do anything about him. This is about his own aqeedah. He went away with his aqeedah. We cannot believe in Tawheed and his niyabat. We cannot believe in Nubuwwat and his niyabat. We cannot believe in Imamat and his niyabat. This is already done. But the huququl nas, we can do things to get him free if he has a liability. And likewise, prayers, we can help him. Zakat, khums, fitra, we can help him. Hajj, we can help. Fasting, we can help. We can go to those people and seek forgiveness for him. If he hurt the feelings of some people in huququn nas, we can go to them and visit and seek forgiveness. This is more important than reading Quran for him, which is just mustahab.
If they don't forgive,
If they don't forgive, then obviously he will be punished.
so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives right to them not to forgive or forgive.
Huququn nas, Allah does not forgive until the people forgive.
They don't commit sin by not forgiving.
No.
That's their right. Or then how deep
We have some narrations about Day of Judgment. We are talking about the barzakh right now, in the qabr. And the Day of Judgment, we have some narrations that tell us that Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, according to those narrations, they will give some of their good deeds to these people, and they will agree to forgive, obviously. And that's how they will do shafa'at for the mu'mineen. But that's about the Day of Judgment.
So if somebody who has done his fundamental stuff, like he's done his kalma, he's done his namaz, hajj, zakat, khums, all that, but he had other sins, like no hukukul, let's say he used to drink, or he did zina, or whatever other sin he has performed. So in barzakh, he will not be punished if he takes care. If let's say he's able to answer everything, he's got his clean slate for the salah and som and hajj and all that. How about other sins? Do they come into play in barzakh, or they are left for the akhirah, on the Day of Judgment?
Well, there are some other sins as well which are punishable, which are obviously, all of them relate to the huququn nas, one way or the other. Yeah, ghibat and namima, juhul khori, a big issue of the qabr is that. So they are all related to huququn nas. Tuhmat, they all, one way or the other, they are connected to huququn nas.
So how about other sins? So those are the sins that are related to cover the barzakh that he will be punished. How about other sins that are not, they are left on Day of Judgment, or he gets punished for all of his sin in barzakh?
Now,
He or she.
the questions will be asked about various things in the Day of Judgment, but not every question, not about every single thing, because their mawaqif, this is just first mawqif. First mawqif is death. The second mawqif is qabr. and Su'al of Munkar and Nakir. Now there are, total 50 mawaqif, so there are a lot more to go.
Also, a lot of stages with the
Yeah, a lot of stages remaining on the Day of Judgment. So there are just some of the things will be asked.
So Munkar Nakir is only one stage, first stage.
That's the second stage. The first stage is death. Death is part of the Day of Judgment. When a person dies, his Day of Judgment has started, basically. Qabr is the step number 1 of entering into the Day of Judgment. So,
Munkar Nakir only comes in the Munafiqun's qabr, or
yeah, Munkar and Nakir comes for everyone else. For a mu'min who is muttaqi, he has Mubashir and Bashir. Munkar and Nakir are two, close and muqarrab angels of Allah, but they are karihul manzar. They are bad looking in their appearance, both of them. So a person is scared, obviously, but Bashir and Mubashir are good looking, and they come for a mu'min who is muttaqi.
treat him nice.
So same questions are for everybody in the world, like for the non-Muslims. So
Yeah.
won't be able to answer even one question.
Same question is for same standard thing for everyone. A person who cannot answer to the basic aqidah, these 3 things, a person who cannot answer to the basic aqidah, obviously he will be punished straight away.
So he will not be going through the next stages.
Next stage is not required, no.
So he's done, basically.
It's done, yeah. This is the foundation. Aqidah is the foundation.
So it goes to like a Pakistan custom green channel.
Stayed on the phone, no face-to-face interview required. Then how deep they gonna dig into this Imamat Aqidah? How much?
Well, just the names.
Just believe that
Just the names, yeah.
nothing,
Just the
doing
names.
any good to them, towards them, or
Yeah, that's taking the name there is depending on a person who is basically following their footsteps and sticks to their aqidah can take the name. Otherwise, a person cannot be able to take the name.
not penetrated.
But the people who know the names but they don't have the hook, then what's
They won't be
They won't be able to say it. ठीक है, फिर इसको मिटा लें. हाँ?
अब्बास हमसे मुबशिर बशीर का ईमेल एड्रेस है तो मुझे बात
Yeah. Walayat of Ali at shahadat.com.
Imam alayhi salam will help in this station?
Yes, why not? They will help, but they will help in the qabr as well, yes. But for certain sins, it is about the shafaat is for certain things only. For shafaat does not include for certain category of people, like for example those who consider the salat to be unimportant. They are confirmed in the hadith of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam that they or basically will not get the shafa'at. So basically shafa'at is not for those people. Now, and obviously shafa'at is there from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, but in the qabr we will be held accountable for our own, we are on our own for our sins, the huququn nas will be punished in the qabr. And in the hadith of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, he says that atakhawwafu alaykum bil barzakh. That's the hadith of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. Atakhawwafu alaykum, I'm afraid about you, in other words, regarding barzakh. So we believe in shafa'at, but in the time of barzakh, Imam says, I'm afraid about you. So we are left with our own sins, basically. Inna shafa'atana this is our intercession will not reach the person who considers salat prayers to be khafif, means sabuk and less important. This is the hadith of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Please say salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So our intercession and shafa'at will not reach the person who considers salat to be less important or unimportant. Istighfaf includes both of the things. If somebody considers less important, that's also holding salat as khafif, or unimportant is obviously included. So basically shafa'at of Ahlul Bayt, this thing is mustasna from the shafa'at. So their shafa'at is confirmed, they will do, but they themselves have taught us that this category is not included. So
again, one question. If one moment he believes the salat is very important, and in his life he is not able to perform all his wajibat related to salat, and somebody else prays for him after his death, is he going to have the count? Is he going to be held punishable?
no, if he has the niyat, see, if we could not pray, but now I realize, so I need to have my niyat that I will start doing my qada prayers, for example, and then I start doing it. Niyat should be always in sync with the amal and action. So as soon as I get the chance, I should start praying it. Slowly, you can pray 1 day prayers in 1 day. Or, so basically a person should do the niyat of fixing the issue and start practically with amal and action, start doing it. So as long as he has the niyat and action and he starts doing it, he could not finish, rest of the salat can be taken care by others. It's wajib on the eldest son, But if there is no eldest son, there's only daughters, then it's not wajib on them. If they do it, they get the sawab, but it's not wajib on anyone else. So if anybody else is doing it, or the daughters are doing it, now obviously they get the sawab. But at least he had the niyat of doing it.
He's not going to get punished for before in previous his life.
Yeah, if he makes the niyat that I will now repair it and fix it, and he starts doing it, and he could not finish, then it's okay.
Then he has all.
Yeah, then he's now serious towards doing the salat, so he's giving importance.
It's mustaqil from the salat person who makes it qada or even very late, stuff like that.
Yeah, qada is obviously a very clear example, but late is also late is also a mistake that we are not giving importance to it. So, sometimes we have some emergency or urgency that's different. You are traveling in the plane, it is some issue you cannot do it at. A justifiable reason is okay, but without any justifiable reason, the moment should not delay it without any justifiable reason. Because that shows that we are giving less importance to
If you're
that.
at work and you can, but it's hard for you, and you can come home and pray in time, then is that person mustaqil from salat or?
Yeah, I think in work we should pray. Yeah, we should pray at work. Even though you have to pray it very fast, that's okay. Even remember in the Salat workshop I mentioned the statement of Ayatollah al-Utma Sayyid Qadi Tabatabai, where he has said that even if a person prays in the Awwal al-Waqt without the khushu of qalb, still it is better than praying it delayed from the Awwal al-Waqt. So it's a very big statement, and without the khushu, Salat is not accepted. But when such a big arif says, that even if a person says the salat in awwal al-waqt without the khushu, that's still better. So awwal al-waqt has an extreme importance level in Islam. Even if we are praying, we have to end up praying faster. Later on, if I get to my home, I can pray slowly, with khushu. But here I have to do it very fast. But still, that's superior in the eyes of Allah.
What if a person is too loud while he's praying? He's not feeling okay to pray at work. So he's still.
Yeah, Islamically we should do that, unless if we are, Islamically we should try to do that, unless if you have a justifiable excuse, really
How
cannot.
loud you're supposed to be when you're reciting, you're reading namaz for Fajr?
Your johar of sawt should be clear, like, you don't have to scream, but at least like I'm speaking, so you can hear your own voice with your johar of sawt visible.
Whisper is completely just
For the Dhuhr and Asr and the last
for Maghrib.
rakats of Maghrib and Isha,
I've seen
third and fourth.
For
third.
Maghrib is like more than whisper.
Yeah, there's a like we are speaking right now. This is called with the johar of the sawt is clear. So if you whisper, the johar of sawt is not clear. Like, Subhanallah, that's not clear. So you cannot understand how the voice of the person is. The voice is thick or thin, or whether it's a male voice or a female voice. You cannot understand in the whisper. But when we are speaking like this is called Jawhar as-Sawt. Jawhar is clear. The essence of the voice is clear. So when this Jawhar and essence is clear, then you can understand whether the person is a male or a female. Voice is thick or thin. You can understand.
You don't have to scream.
You don't have to scream.
Yeah. So,
There is a person in the room also sleeping with you. Is not Shia.
It doesn't matter, but you have to say it with the Jawhar as-Sawt.
Wake up.
You can hear your own voice that much loud. You don't have to scream, but you can hear your own voice. If you intentionally say your wajib, your fajr prayers or first two rakats of Maghrib Isha, intentionally you say the Fatiha and the next surah slowly, your salat is batil. If you forgot and you say it slowly, as soon as you remember, start saying with the loud voice.
Don't have to repeat.
Don't have to repeat the previous if you forgot. So wajib ghair fawri, wajib ghair rukni.
person is very good in his throughout the life praying namaz, but sometimes he gets lazy or give no importance to salat or for few salats in his life, still he's not going to get shifa.
Well, the point is that a person who gives importance all the time. If I give importance to something 5 times and then another 5 times I don't give importance, then this is not counted that then there is no difference in my eyes between this thing being important and or unimportant. So when a person who has belief in Allah, he always will do that. Sometimes we may delay for some justifiable reason, that's a different thing, but otherwise without any justifiable reason it should not happen. Sometimes we may do sins as well, we are not masoom, but then again we do the tawbah and again we correct our behavior and do it. That's okay, we do the tawbah and that's still very good. Allah loves the people who do tawbah. Inna Allah yuhibbul at-tawwabin. So Allah loves yuhibbu at-tawwabin. Let me correct that. So Allah loves the people who do the tawbah. So sometimes if we make a mistake, we correct it. It's good, we do the tawbah, but otherwise intentionally we should not do something which is disliked.
So if we make mistake every day and do tawbah, that's not tawbah. Like
if we do mistake every day after doing tawbah sincerely, but then we do tawbah again, that's still okay, but not a tawbah which is like a lip service. This is not considered to be the tawbah. If we do a tawbah every day because I do sins every day, but every time I do the sin I sincerely make my mind, then again I end up doing a sin, but again I do the tawbah sincerely, that is still okay. This kind of sincere tawbah, very soon I will get rid of the sins because I am sincerely doing the tawbah. For a short while maybe I keep on doing sins, but because every time I'm sincere in my tawbah, in a very short while I will get rid of the sins. But if a person is not serious in doing the tawbah, then this is basically فَقَدْ اسْتَهْزَأَ بِنَفْسِهِ. He is making fun of his own self, because Allah is not going to accept this kind of tawbah which is not serious.
So mustakhifan with salat is something that could be remedied with repentance, like if you do tawbah of being like you were careless before about salat and now you kind of.
Yeah, this is disliked. This behavior is disliked by Allah, and it is mamnu. It is mamnu. I'm not saying that delaying of the prayers from awwal al-waqt is haram. I'm not saying that, but it is disliked by Allah, and it is mamnu. It is condemned, but not haram, not to that level. So it's not haram, but it is disliked by Allah. But remember, when we are talking about shafaat, we are expecting extra favor from Allah. I did the sins, I did violations, so I am not going to be forgiven until I get an extra favor. In order for me to get an extra favor, I need to give importance to those things which Allah holds importance. For the rest of the things I may have faults in it, but for the most important thing I have no fault. That's how I can attract an extra favor. Because what Allah considers to be most important, at least I did that much. For the rest of the things I may have sins, but that thing I protected. Then I deserve an extra favor.
But basically the eligibility can be regained if you start giving importance to salat.
Correct. It can regain any time.
The main thing is to have Ahlul name penetrated into your soul, so you can remember and you are able to say it in your prayer. It penetrates through ita'at and obedience. No other way. If there are faults in ita'at, there are mistakes in ita'at.
Yeah, no, obviously we are sinners, we can do mistakes, but we always do the tawbah, so that's how we get corrected. So, man ahabbana faly'amal bi'amalina. That's the hadith of Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam. Man ahabbana faly'amal bi'amalina. whoever loves us must do the action according to our action. So love, obviously we are sinners, but we should always sincerely try to obey them. That's the real proof of love. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين.